Hello, my name is Holly Sexton-Foy with Abound Credit Union. Welcome to Issues and Insights on HCEC-TV. If you didn't know, fun fact, Abound partners with Hardin County Schools to provide financial literacy to elementary, middle, and high school students. So they have a touch point to be smarter financial consumers when they become independent adults. You do not have to be a member to get financial literacy resources from Abound Credit Union. So you can go to www.aboundcu.com and take 5-minute modules right there on your phone or on your computer. Again, that's aboundcu.com for financial wellness. Today we're going to talk with our friends from Hardin County Emergency Management. Lots of experience in the room today, so we're happy to have them. Joey Scott is with us, the Emergency Management Director, and Mark Peterson, the Director for Hardin County EMS. So glad to have you both.
Thank you.
Thanks,
in the studio today, and on the eve of some really yucky weather.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's kind of trending that way. So.
It is. So we're going to talk about that. And we had false spring. If you're Kentuckian, you know we had fake spring, and now that we're through that, we're going to head back into some winter weather. So we're going to talk about that as well. But first of all, for those who may not be aware, what are the functions of emergency management in Hardin County?
Well, emergency management, of course, it's a variety of different things we do. We monitor the hazard materials coming in and out of the county, the hazardous substances at factories we have here. We're also in charge of search and rescue. Anytime someone goes missing, we get notified of that as well. But just our main function is to coordinate a natural disaster of a large portion. That's what we come in and we take care of that.
About how many employees do you have now?
Well, we have 2 employees that in our office, and also we have, we kind of partner up with EMS as well, and the fire departments as well. We all work together as one unit. So.
And I think for people in general, they think of it all as one unit, right? But it's a little more complicated.
Yeah. Yes,
a little more nuanced.
Yeah.
Than that. Do you want to add anything?
Sure. I mean, Hardin County EMS, we're the sole 911 provider for emergency medical services in the county. Well, last year we made about 19,000 responses. We're on track to probably make that many this year as well, especially with the growth that's coming to our area over the next year or two. So. Yeah,
let's expand on that. So Blue Oval SK, if I may, in Glendale, we're watching a population increase and plan the next 5 years or so to see a big increase.
Yes.
And that may be conservative.
Yes.
Is it a longer time period than that, you think?
They're moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, we could see an increase before then as well. So.
How does that impact what you do?
Well, obviously, we have a lot more traffic on the road. You're having a lot more residents moved into the county.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yes.
Yes.
Longer waits at the drive-thru.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, when I get off work, there's a longer line of traffic.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right. And like I said, with the roadway, we have more accidents, a lot more accidents. With I-65, you have a lot more hazard material traveling up and down the roadways as well. So it will impact emergency services. And we have a volunteer fire service in the county. The only paid fire departments in the county is the city departments. So it will impact, and we'll have to prepare for the future coming to Hardin County.
Yeah.
For sure. So people watching, and especially if they are citizens and taxpayers in Hardin County, what can they expect from that typically with that growth? We talked about increased traffic.
Right.
Maybe response time?
Yeah, could. Response times we hope aren't affected, but as we get busier, there's a potential for that. We're hoping to stay on top of that growth and make sure that we're staffed accordingly and we have enough ambulances on the road and fire trucks available and all that stuff. But, the biggest thing, you may start seeing us at different places in the county. You may start seeing fire trucks and ambulances in Glendale or western parts of the county here in the next several years as we kind of look to see where this growth is going to happen. Where are these people going to settle? Are they going to settle in E-Town? Are they going to settle in the county? And, right now there's a lot of unknowns, which it's hard to plan for when you don't know what's coming or where everybody's going to end up.
Yeah, that's really true. As a homeowner in E-Town, really, where are people going to live?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'll be interested and excited to see growth like that. But it's good to know that we're in good hands with the planning of that. So let's talk about emergency preparedness and what people watching need to know about weather that may impact us negatively or other factors.
Sure, we've had some rough winter already this year. You know, and I think the main thing is, you know, just pay attention to your social media out there. Because that's a good place to reach out. I'm not a big social media fan, but you know, I think that
Depends on the day.
that's right. That's right. I've learned since taking this job that it is a very good tool. So and it keeps everybody connected. So just pay attention to it. And if you don't have to be on the roadways, try to stay off them. Try to stay home and just heed the warnings because. You know, last time I think we had a lot of accidents, but you know, people really did take notice of the warnings and stayed home, and that really helped us out as emergency services as well.
Yeah, if you don't have to be out, don't be out. And if you do have to be out, make sure that you're prepared. You know, take some extra stuff with you just in case you do have an accident or you're stuck in traffic or whatever. You know, emergency kit in your car with blankets and flashlights and water and stuff like that. And if you're on prescription medications, make sure that you have enough of those to sustain for a while. If, you know, God forbid, power goes out. We were talking about the ice storm earlier.
Yeah.
You know, one of the challenges we had during that time was everybody that required oxygen. They didn't have power to use their oxygen machines. So make arrangements ahead of time to have all that stuff in place so that, you know, that you're prepared. And of course, we're always assets if, God forbid, that, you know, you run out of oxygen or you need medications and stuff like that, we can help out. But you don't want to be in a spot where you're, especially, you know, insulin for those diabetics and stuff like that, where you don't have the medicines you need for your medical needs.
That's a really good point, and I don't know if you recall, but a few years ago, I-65, when it was shut down, having water was just a great idea. Or food, protein, that kind of thing, if you have little kids with you.
Right.
I like that idea of creating a kit. So what are some other things creatively that could go in a kit?
Well, you make sure you have a cell phone charger. That's always big. You know, plenty of clothes. Having clothes in there, blankets, toboggans, you know, gloves, anything to keep you warm. Because I think that was a big challenge in 2014 when I-65 was shut down.
Was the year? I
Yes,
couldn't
it was.
remember.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
they
was.
all of it. I'm like, you remember last year? It's like, no.
We know these dates in emergency services.
I'm sure, yeah.
It was a big challenge because they ran out of gas. You know, they was out there over 18 hours, and you know, and that was the temperatures went very rapidly down. So it was staying warm. That was the big thing. So, but yeah, just making sure, you know, you have extra batteries in your car for your flashlights, for any kind of device you have in there. So, just pay attention to the weather, you know, watch the weather, because, I mean, we've got so many different weather channels now and so many media outlets out there that really harp on the weather, and every day they're talking about the weather. So just pay attention to it. Have a plan in place. Be prepared.
That's a really good point. What, you're going to add?
Well, I was going to add your pets, too. Don't forget about your pets. You know, I've got dogs at home, and if you travel with your dogs, make sure they have the things that they need, or if they're not traveling with you, make sure somebody's there to maybe help take care of them, extra food, water, and if they have medications, make sure that stuff's available for them as well.
That's some really good points, and I would even suggest now just checking Waze or checking GPS to see what the situation is before you get on the road. I've had many people say, I got out on I-65 or I got out on Dixie and I sat there. It's like, well, just take a look before you leave.
Well, and
Sometimes
Waze
you
is a
can't
great
avoid it.
app because it's updating continually, so it can give you an idea of traffic patterns and where it's not moving so great and where it is moving good. So
Those are excellent points. So I've got a mental note. I need to put a kit together. So I usually take my Nook with me, but I'm like, I'm going to end up sitting here at some point. So you both have a lot of experience. Let's talk about that.
Well, I've been, this is 28 years in the emergency services for me. I've been a 28-year firefighter. Retired from City of Radcliffe as a sergeant. Also, I've been with Valley Creek Fire Department since 1994, so I'm a fire chief there now as well.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
I got my start in EMS in the military, actually. I was a corpsman in the United States Navy for about 9 years. And
Go Navy.
Yes, yes.
My dad was in the Navy.
Yep.
I'm married
Yep.
to a nuke.
Good,
so,
good.
Yeah.
And then when I separated out of the military, I tried to get away from it, and it drew me right back in. So I've been
It's like that.
It does, yeah. I've been with Hardin County EMS about 14 years. So, and I've been the director for them for the last 3.5 years. So.
Well, let's go somewhere positive with this. With your experiences, what have you seen improve with the infrastructure, with people, with the services? What have you seen improve in Hardin County over the years?
Oh, technology is unreal. From our standpoint, there's so many tools in our tool bag now that we can do that give patients better outcomes. We have automated CPR devices that will do CPR on folks for us, where we don't have to do it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You don't want me to give you CPR.
Right. Well, it's exhausting. So, I mean, there's a human factor into that, at some point people get tired. That's been huge for us, the technology that's come, that we can do things and have better outcomes for our patients. The infrastructure is wonderful as well. I mean, all our ambulances have the ability to transmit data, to the hospital real time as somebody may be having a heart attack. We can transport, we get that stuff to the hospital ahead of time. It's just, it's good, it's all good. But with technology comes, sometimes technology is not always perfect, and for me, it's just that the technology has made our job as far as taking care of patients much better.
That feels good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're on the other end of that
At
call.
the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Yeah.
So Joey, you want to expand
Well,
on that?
I think also that, we need to focus too on the fire departments. Hardin County has provided AEDs for each fire department. We make Med-Assist with EMS service. So, and a lot of times that works great because early defibrillation can save a life. And, a lot of times, and most times, the fire department's usually first on the scene. So, with Hardin County providing that equipment, that's a quicker chance of survival.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's wonderful news.
Oh, yeah.
That is good news. So before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to share about emergency preparedness or bad weather for upcoming? Because we're coming up on mid-February. We're probably going to see a little bit more.
Sure,
bad weather.
sure. I would like to just touch on, and I always try to end this with, be good to your neighbors. Check on your neighbors. Know your neighbors. Get to know your neighbors and your elderly people. Get out and just reach out and make sure they're okay. Because I think, if we all do our part and checking on each other, everybody's going to be fine. So.
That's a good point.
And Joey's Facebook page for emergency management puts out a lot of really good information, and pay attention to those media outlets because they're pushing a lot of good information out. We have a Facebook page as well, so typically anything he's sharing, we're sharing, and vice versa. And like he said, this cold weather is hard for the fragile population, those the elderly and less fortunate. So make sure you're checking on them and helping out in any way you can.
And I would say you could share for people to prepare by going to the store, but they already do that anyway.
Oh, yeah. The famous milk and bread trips to the hospital.
It's like if you went to Kroger right now, it would be insane.
Yeah.
So what is that Facebook page? What's it called?
Well, we have Hardin County Emergency Management is our Facebook page, and then we have
Hardin County EMS
so
as
people
well.
can just follow or subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. As well as Hardin County government has one as well, and they post our pages as well.
Perfect. And what's the website?
The county website is hcky.org, and it's got links on there for a couple different apps that are beneficial. One of them is the RAVE app, which will help alert you for weather incidents. It'll be a text message to your cell phone. And we also have an app on there called Pulse Point, which will notify you if somebody nearby needs medical assistance, especially CPR. So if you're CPR certified, you could be the difference in somebody's life, and it'll notify you if a 911 call is made for somebody needing CPR, and if you're close, it'll alert you, and that way you could go to the accident or the incident if you so choose and help that person out.
How do people sign up for the RAVE system? You just go to the website?
Just go to the website, yes.
Yeah,
there's a link on there that links you to that. So.
And that's hcky.org.
That's correct.
Yes,
Excellent. Okay. And then Pulse Point, as you mentioned, that's something that could really
absolutely.
citizens saving
Well,
lives.
and it also keeps track of any events that are going on in the county, structure fires and stuff like that, so you can car accidents, so you can see what's going on in the county to avoid the areas, to give us some space, and that way it doesn't affect your travel and stuff like that as well.
Well, I feel much better knowing that you two are in charge of things. So I hope you have a safe week, safe weekend.
You as well.
And thank you both for what you do.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you for watching HCEC-TV's Issues and Insights.